Listen up, Supermod fans. Chicagoland Games Dice Dojo is the spot for tabletop gamers to enjoy their hobby through great products and even better events. Dice Dojo has the best variety of board games, RPGs, miniature games, and trading card games like Magic and Pokemon in the city. Check out their many events, including dozens of tournaments and their famous free board game night on Wednesdays. Check out their website at chicagolandgames.com or find them on Facebook at Chicagoland Games. Are you looking for more Supermod content? Come join us on Patreon, patreon.com/PowerCast Network. For just $5 a month, you can get access to YouTube ad-free shows, all Supermod updates, all Supermod spreadsheets. All of our shows are released early. There are bonus episodes and much more. Don't waste another minute, everybody. Head on over to patreon.com/PowerCast Network. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. It is the New Year Series. It's the World Wrestling Federation all month long for the month of January. And here we are, live, back in action, live in living color, coming to you in stereo. That's right. We are in Toronto, Ontario, up there in Canada. And we are in the Maple Leaf Gardens, and we are taping a live show of Maple Leaf Wrestling. For those of you that may have missed our earlier episodes where we talked about Maple Leaf Wrestling, I can give you a quick rundown here. Maple Leaf Wrestling was a television show that was syndicated across Canada that was run by the Maple Leaf Wrestling promotion out of Toronto by the Tunney family. Frank Tunney Sr. passed away, and his nephew, and I believe his son, sold Maple Leaf Wrestling to Vince McMahon. Now, why did Vince McMahon want a one-town territory? Same reason why he wanted Houston. He wanted the television. And in Canada especially, you could only have a certain amount of non-filmed Canadian content on Canadian TV. So this is why Vince McMahon wanted Maple Leaf Wrestling. He got Maple Leaf Wrestling, and he actually, I think he bought it in 1985 and continued running Maple Leaf Wrestling as it was all the way until 1987 when the Canadian laws laxed and you could put more of non-Canadian content on Canadian TV. And then at that point, McMahon started just using Superstars, the matches from Superstars, for Maple Leaf Wrestling, and he would use Billy Red Lyons as his backstage interviewer to appease the Canadian content needs still. So here we are in May of 1987. We are choosing to run Maple Leaf Wrestling in the game here, and instead of doing a syndication contracts with a bunch of different Canadian television stations, we just did a deal with TSN, and the WWF actually had a deal with TSN, so it's fair and it's accurate. So we've selected TSN as our broadcaster, and we are going to go ahead and save this selection. Here we go. And we're good. We're ready for Maple Leaf Wrestling here, everybody. We are going to run the actual card that Maple Leaf Wrestling ran. And you can see there's no asterisk, so we didn't have to change anything. So here we go. Johnny K9 is going to face Sam Houston in the opener. We're going to see Frenchy Martin versus Outhouse Jack, also known as Outback Jack. Frankie Laine, Cowboy. Frankie Laine is going to battle Bob Orton Jr., also known as the Ace, also known as Cowboy Bob Orton. Lanny Poffo, Leapin'. Lanny Poffo is going to face the magnificent Muraco in singles action. We are going to have Corporal Kirchner versus Nikolai Volkoff. The Killer Bees are going to face Demolition in the semi-main. And then our main event, everybody, we are going to have King Harley Race challenge Hulk Hogan for the heavyweight championship of the world. Yes, we have seen this match several times, and we're probably going to see it several more times because this is how the WWF did things. Remember, these were localized television markets for the most part. It's not like this was the same broadcast going throughout all of the United States along with Canada. So a lot of the Canadian fans may not have seen Hogan versus Race yet. So that's why they're doing it once again here. So with that said, and this exciting card, and it is an exciting card, let's get to booking. Right after we check absent workers and backstage incidents. I got excited again there, everybody. I can't help it. All right, nothing but the usuals are out. And let's check our backstage incident. Rick Brood got himself in some trouble here with Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino is our enforcer. He keeps everybody in line and does not tolerate any of their BS. So Rick Rude didn't shake somebody's hand. Sammartino said, "You're going to be buying drinks for everybody to make up for it, jerk." And that's exactly what's going to go down here, everybody. All right, so right back to booking our card. Of course, I forgot the opener already. We got Johnny K9 and Sam Houston. This is probably Sam Houston's first match in Canada. I expect this one to get a very poor score. All right, here we go. Johnny K9, who was from Canada. What an interesting individual. If you get the chance, you can watch his Dark Side of the Ring, where they talk about all his crazy stuff, his bike gang membership, prison sentences, all the rest of that stuff. The guy was really something else. All right, here is Sam Houston. I've never seen the episode. I know the story from before the episode, so I can't say what's on the television episode. All right, here's Sam Houston. Sam Houston, of course, is going to get the win. Johnny K9 is doing the favor for Houston here. Up next, we have a promo, and Bob Orton and Magnificent Muraco are going to cut their promo. So here we go. Here is Bob Orton Jr. Of course, in the WWF, he's just known as Bob Orton, but everybody else in the wrestling world knows that he's the son of Cowboy Bob Orton Sr. All right, here is Magnificent Muraco. The WWF like to cut the Jr. off of people's names, just like they did with Rey Mysterio Jr. many years later, which I always found disrespectful. All right, here's Bob Orton. Here is Magnificent Muraco. They're talking to Billy Red Lions, who we've signed specifically for this. And everybody, we got to take a look. I almost screwed up and did not adjust our announcers for this show. Orton and Muraco are in a feud with the Killer Bees, so we'll have them talk about Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair. All right, the Bees are off screen. Everybody else is on screen. This one's all set. Let's double check our commentators, our announcers for this one, everybody. And where do we have it? There's Maple Leaf Wrestling. So McMahon and Jesse Ventura are the team. So here is Vince McMahon. Here is none. That one's booked. Let's adjust the first show match here. Here is Vince McMahon. There's Jesse Ventura, and there is none. All right, we're ready for our next contest here. Bring this back up to Maple Leaf Wrestling. Frenchy Martin is going to face Outhouse Jack. And we'll adjust our commentators right off the bat. All right, here we go. Let me double check the time on this one. It's another 8-minute bout. Fair enough. All right, Frenchy Martin, of course, is a resident of Canada. And obviously, he was from the French Quarters, Quebec. I'm not exactly sure if he was from Quebec City, if he was from Montreal. I am not certain. All right, Here is Outhouse Jack. But Frenchy Martin was working as enhancement at this time. About a year from now, he will become Dino Bravo's manager. So here we go. Outback Jack with the victory. Our commentary team is set properly. And there we go. Outhouse gets himself another win. Here is Frankie Laine and Bob Orton. They are going to go 10 minutes. Frankie Laine was another Canadian hand. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, this might not have been the actual card. I might have come up with this card on my own. But I'm just not certain. All right, here's Laine versus Orton. Cowboy Frankie Laine was a good wrestler in his day. He's older here, but he could still get the job done. And he really did work as enhancement for the WWF. This is legit. All right, here's Bob Orton. And Orton Jr. is going to get the win here, everybody. The ace. That one's good to go. Up next, we have Muraco. And who's he tying up with here? Poffo, Lanny Poffo, who was actually born in Canada, believe it or not, but was raised in Downers Grove, Illinois, and is now a resident of Florida, or as my New York friends would say, Florida. Over there, down there in Florida. All right, here is Leapin' Lanny Poffo. Here's the magnificent one. And Muraco is going to get the win over the much smaller Lanny Poffo. Although Lanny Poffo was not a small man, but Don Muraco was a monster. All right, let me double check that I did this one right. I did. We're good. All right, up next here, we have a Demolition promo. And Demolition tends to get good promos. Of course, with this show being in Canada, anything could happen here. Here is Demolition Axe. Here is Demolition Smash. They are talking to Billy Red Lions, of course. And they are in a feud with the Islanders. They are going to talk about Haku and Tama, even though they are facing the Killer Bees. They would also mention the Bees in that promo, but we don't need to get that nitpicky with it. All right, entertainment, off screen, on screen, good to go. Let's get this changed over to Vince McMahon and none. And now this one is booked. All right, up next here, we have Kirchner and Volkoff. They are going to go 12. Here is Corporal Kirchner. Here is Nikolai Volkoff. All right, Volkoff is going to get the win here, everybody. And he's going to do it with manager interference, the Slickster. He's going to help him get the win. And that one's all set. Up next here, we have the Killer Bees and Demolition. So it'll be an outstanding match. And I think they're going, what do we have them going here? 14, yeah. All right, we'll plug in the two tag teams here. Here are the Killer Bees. Here are Demolition. And this is a tough one to decide who's going to win. Let's check out the match history. Demolition beat the Killer Bees on a live event tour the last time. Demolition 7-2, which is pretty good. You know what? Let's have the Killer Bees get the win here by DQ. Shouldn't be any problems here with Demolition. And we're going to have it due to manager interference. Keep Fuji hot here, everybody. Here's outside interference. And B. Brian Blair is going to get hit by Mr. Fuji himself. All right, so there we go. That one's all set. Next, I think we have a Hulk Hogan promo. If you ever noticed, I do hesitate in saying put a space between Hulk and Hogan because I was known as a kid for saying Hulk Hogan. So I always say Hulk Hogan. And then that way, I won't look like a 6-year-old Brad Drake. All right, Hulk Hogan's cutting a promo here. Here is the Hulkster. You know, a lot of you, I realize, are probably younger, and you probably don't realize how big Hulk Hogan was. But I'm telling you, I was a kid in this era. I was watching the TV. Hogan was everywhere, and he was huge. I mean, huge. He was on television. He was on late night TV. He was in magazines. He was just everywhere. The commercials on TV had Hogan. He was like the first crossover star that was mainstream. Everybody knew him. You'd be in elementary school and teachers would have posters up of Hogan. There'd be don't do drug ads with Hogan. There was all sorts of stuff with Hogan in it. Was really something else. All right, here we go. Hogan's promo is all set here. And up next here, we are going to have Race versus Hogan. And of course, it's going to be for the World Heavyweight title. And how long do they got here? They are going to go 16. That's a nice time for these two. And the World Heavyweight title is on the line. And here we go. Harley Race and Hulk Hogan. They're going to do it once again here. Let's have some fun with this one and change things up. And let's make it a draw. And let's do a double countout. Just for the fun of it. Just to change things up. And this can be an epic because it's over 16 minutes. So we're going to book this segment. Hogan's furious. Fair enough. Harley Race is a huge star. I don't see why Hogan would be furious, but whatever. All right, so Hulk Hogan is going to go over here. That's going to be the end of it. All right. Here we go. This one's booked. Just under 2 hours. Perfect. All right, let's start the show. Let's see how we do here in Toronto. All right, Johnny K9 and Sam Houston. Sam Houston gets the win with that half Boston Crab. Lots of green here. Red text the Doom also. What are you going to do? Johnny K9 outscores Sam Houston. Helps that he's from Canada, I'm sure. All right, I think we sold out the Maple Leaf Gardens here. All right. Yes, everybody likes Billy Red Lions, even though I have those turned off and it doesn't matter. All right. 63 for this promo. Lousy score for the promo. But I'm sure part of that has to do with popularity in Canada. Even though both those guys were wrestling in Toronto for years, it would have been over. All right, red text to Doom here. Frenchy Martin and Outback Jack. And Frenchy Martin way outscores Outback Jack here. Whopping 35. Not good. All right, Frankie Laine and Bob Orton. Bob Orton gets the win with the Superplex. 76-42. Nets us a 69. Hey, what are you going to do? Let's see the takeaways here. Frankie Laine's got some inconsistencies. That's fine. Up next here, Poffo and Magnificent Muraco. Muraco wins with that Tombstone Pile Driver. And again, just a 69 for Muraco, which is disappointing and surprising. But then again, nothing really is in TEW. All right, up next here, we have Demolition with a 76 promo. Again, a little disappointing, but they talked with Billy Red Lions, and we might be in a little bit of trouble with this card, everybody, so far. So let's see how the next match does. Kirchner and Volkoff only get a 63. We are in serious trouble here, everybody. I'm sure Hogan's going to save the day, but we're potentially going to lose some popularity here. All right, the Bees and Demolition get us an 81, so that helps. And the Bees win by disqualification. Let's see if there's any takeaways on this one. This ridiculous overwhelmed by manager one. All right, 81 overall. Good deal. Next, we have Hulk Hogan, yes, who gets us a 100 promo and probably saves the day here. Let's see how our main event does, because this one could go either way. Main event gets a 99. Excellent. Excellent. Hogan once again saves the day with the King Harley race. All right. Excellent. Let's go ahead and finish up the show here. And we've got ourselves a 95 overall. We get gains across Canada. We are pointing out the Hulkster. We are pointing out Harley race. And that's all we're going to point out. Great performance. Great performance. We're going to make that speech. Hogan's pleased. Race is pleased. All right, this is going to take us back to the main screen here, everybody. And we are rolling into Sunday. And that brings us back to our tour date. We're going from Toronto to Sacramento, California, everybody. All right, we'll wait for the main screen to load here. All right, let's check our incoming. Freddie Blasty's going to retire. Fair enough. No problem. Wrestling Spotlight, 86,000 viewers. BS. Superstars, 3.3 million. Excellent. And Maple Leaf Wrestling, 1.3 million. Excellent. The Edmonton Oilers have won the Stanley Cup. Good stuff. Let's check our incoming here. Jesse Barr wants more money. I'm not giving you $400. We might as well give it to him. All right, let's check, do a quick check here of what's going on in the game world, see if anything catches our eye. I don't see anything. Shinya Hashimoto's hurt. Great Goliath is going to wrestle for the UWA. He's old here. Yeah, he's 52. He's working California Championship Wrestling, though. I know that. I put him in the game. What do we got here? Anything good? NWA had World Championship Wrestling. This is cool. They're actually doing the enhancement matches. 73, good stuff. The studio show, of course, 77. There it is. Mike Graham gets himself at the top of the card again. Always with this guy. Always. This game loves Mike Graham in Jim Crockett Promotions. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us here for this one. For those of you that are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave us a message below. If you're looking for version 10 of the Supermod, head on over to patreon.com/PowerCast Network. It's just $5 a month, everybody. That $5 gets you access not only to the Supermod, which is the database and picture pack, but it also gets you access to all of the spreadsheets and early and YouTube ad-free videos, plus all the bonus videos. And we have a lot of bonus videos and a lot more coming. So last but not least, join us on social media, facebook.com/groups/1987Supermod. You can also find us over on Reddit with the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.